Right now, you're listening to the Championship Absolute Football Banter podcast, where we discuss upcoming fixtures, weekly match results, the table, all the clubs, and everything else. Right now, please welcome your hosts, Danny May, Tyler Tarft, Karl May, Dan McGee, Ash White, Ashley Slight, and other special guests. Sit back and enjoy. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Championship Absolute Football Banter podcast. I'm joined by three fans, Danny May, Borough fan, Tyler Tarft, Derby fan, and Karl May, Borough fan, as myself, a
right, pal.
fan. How you guys
All
doing?
right, boys. Yeah,
all
you?
Right. Good. Well, welcome back to everybody. Welcome back. The dream team is here. How's everybody getting on?
Good. Better now the weekend's here.
All had a good week?
Yeah, definitely.
And a few quid.
And enjoyed the football, have we?
Yeah, it's been an interesting week. You know, it's now the business end of the season. So, as always, it's been an interesting one. So, should we speak about the last lot of fixtures then? Last lot of results?
Yes, so I'm just going to go over the midweek results. We're going to start off with the Norwich City and Watford match, which Watford won 1-0. Was that one we expected, boys, or what happened there?
I think that Watford are just that little bit more up for it, just for the fact that Norwich have already been promoted. So, you know, they've got nothing to lose if they did win. They're still in party mode. Promotion, you know. They've gone up and that's all that matters. Whereas Watford haven't secured Premier League return yet. So I think that they needed this one a bit more than what Norwich did. And of course, yeah, it showed in the performance.
Okay, Danny, thank you.
Well, yeah, I mean, both the best teams in the league for me. So it could have swung either way, to be honest. So, yeah.
Not a lot in it. It was like you say. I think Watford just wanted it a little bit more.
Yeah, they've shown, both teams have shown this season that they can beat pretty much everyone in the league. So,
no, definitely.
You know, it was one of them games that could have swung either way.
Okay, we're going to go to the next fixture here, which was Brentford at home to Cardiff.
What score did that one finish?
That finished 1-0. Obviously, me being a Brentford fan, I'm just going to quickly discuss this. I have to say it was very frustrating to go on and watch that. We need results, especially if we're to clinch automatic promotion. It's looking more and more distant now. Listen, boys, when going into that match, what did did anybody have predictions on that? Did you think Brentford or Cardiff come out on top?
It's a tough call for me. It was a tough call for me.
Danny May first. Yeah.
Yeah, well, to me, I just thought it'd be a tough call. You know, Cardiff are one of them teams up there. You know, I'm trying to fight for the playoffs, but to be honest, I think it's out of their grasp now. But yeah, I mean, Brentford haven't been great in form of late, but you know, the 1-1 draw probably played out fair in the end.
Go to Tyler next.
Yeah, for me, before the game, I thought Brentford might have won. You know, going into it, they had more to play for than Cardiff. But then again, Cardiff have no real pressure on them. I don't think they're going up, they're not going down. So going into it, they had no pressure on them. So they could just go out there, enjoy their football. And it was a bit of a good test against a good Brentford side. So I did think that Brentford would win. But it's still a point on the board for Brentford in their hopes of I'd say playoffs is the target for them now, because I don't think automatics is probably for Brentford now. I think the two best sides are up in the automatics.
Yeah.
Okay, Carl?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Cardiff are not an easy side either, and the pressure's off. They're probably still up for it a little bit, just in case they can just edge into that playoff spot. I think it's pretty much done now that they can. But Brentford's form's been a little bit poor on it, so I think anybody up for it will give them a good game at the minute.
What's happened to Ivan Toney lately?
Well, I mean, very hit and miss, isn't he? I think there's a lot of pressure on him trying to break that 30-goal record. I think he's starting to feel it. It's not like he's creating chances. He's just not burying them. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, he was quite prolific, wasn't he? So, you know, of late, he's not really been putting them in the back of the net.
But has he been getting the service that he needs? Has he been getting that service from the other players? You know, it's quite easy to say Tony hasn't been informed, but as a team collectively, have they been informed?
Well, exactly. You can't just pin it down to one man. But quickly, we'll move on to the next result. One, Tyler, I don't think you're happy. You were happy with, especially Preston 3, Derby 0. We'll go to you first, Tyler.
Yeah, poor in general. No passion, no pride, no desire, nothing from anyone. You know, no one's wanting it. No one's wanting to make themselves a hero. A lot of the players that we've expected to do well, you know, Jason Knight hasn't been up for it. Colin Kazim-Richards was scoring goals, and they were rocket goals, and he was scoring every week. He gets a new contract, and he you know, since that contract, he's been lost. So I don't really know what's gone off. You know, everyone just seems to have lost confidence, and we can't string a result together. We can't score. And, you know, from that performance on midweek, I won't be surprised if we go down, because there's no passion from any of these. And, yeah, fair play to Preston. They just scored us.
Danny?
Well, for me, Preston had really nothing to play for in the game. It's just the desire, the guts, the passion, like Tyler said, to try and get 3 points in the game, to try and stay themselves away from relegation, which is, for me, I think Wayne Rooney's not the right man for the job. He's starting to prove it now. And to be honest, I think this takeover scenario isn't fitting well in the team as well. I think it's having an effect in the club. So yeah, I mean, I do fear for Derby, but I just hope, for Tyler's sake, that they have enough to come the end of the season.
I think they'll have enough to stay up. But Carl, what do you think?
I think they'll stay up, but I think it's only because the teams below are pretty poor as well, aren't they? But it's been a disastrous season, no matter what. If Chef Wed didn't get them 6 points took off him, then it'd have been interesting, wouldn't it? There's been a point in with the bottom, them last 3 for that last spot, I think.
We'd have fell into the bottom 3 if Sheffield Wednesday didn't have that 6 points they did, obviously.
Well, quickly, let's move on to the Sheffield Wednesday game. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Blackburn 0. Like, they really needed those 3 points to help their survival, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think going into these last couple of games, the 3 teams below us, me being a Derby fan, are showing a lot more passion than what we are. You know, Sheffield Wednesday not long ago beat Cardiff 5-0, and they're just showing that a lot more passion than what we are. Same with the bottom 3 teams. Blackburn aside, that nothing to play for, and we lost to. And Sheffield Wednesday really won it, and that's why they got the result from it.
Yeah, Chef Wed, they seem to be able to just put a couple of results together recently, haven't they? And they're at least having a go, even when they look dead and buried quite a few games ago. It's got a little bit to grasp onto, I think.
Yeah, for me, I mean, Blackburn have got a lot of play for. Not Blackburn, Chef Wed have got a lot of play for. Obviously, they want to pull themselves out of the relegation zone. Blackburn didn't have really anything to play for at all. I think they're just going to dwindle out in the season now, and they finish where they finish. But like I say, Sheffield have got to stay themselves out of that, and I think they're fighting. They're not going down without a fight.
Right, let's move quickly on to the game, which was Swansea 0, QPR 1. Now, it's almost as if history's repeated itself last season. QPR helping out Brentford in their promotion campaign. I mean, look at QPR now. They're seventh. No, they're eighth. Sorry, you wouldn't have expected them to be where they are on the table. They're not going to get playoffs, I don't think. But did you expect them to be on this run and beat teams like Swansea?
Yeah, it seems since the pressure's been off, where they pretty looked like they couldn't get the playoffs, they've suddenly hit a bit of form and at least edged closer to them, even if they're not going to quite make it, haven't they? Like, I didn't expect them 5 or 6 games ago to end up above us, and they're above us now.
Yeah. No, they seem to have come out of nowhere, to be honest. They were sort of mid-table. I agree with Dan. I don't think they'll get the playoffs, but they've done well of late. Mark Warburton's got them playing well.
Tyler?
Yeah, I think QPR are probably at a stage where the pressure's off them. They're not going down. They're not realistically going to get the playoffs. Coming up against Swansea, they've been a weird side this season because they have played nice football, but then there's times where they've just bottled it to the lower league clubs who they need to be beaten. And I think it's a good result for QPR, but Swansea are losing it at the wrong time, same as Brentford. And I think Brentford and Swansea losing the form is leaving them top 2 to the best teams in the league.
Right, so the next game we'll move on to 11-man Middlesbrough beat 10-man Rotherham 2-1.
Oh, you had to get that in, didn't you? You had to get that in.
We'll go to you Borough boys first, Dan.
Well, I mean, I watched the game. The first half wasn't nothing spectacular for me. They got the early goal off a set pick, off a corner it was. It's sort of, we seem to react more so in the second half, in my opinion. And I thought we played quite well. Showed fight, determination. Balassi was great. Watmore was great. And we had a youth come on quite early. Through an injured player called Conor Malley. Was the sky man of the match. Played absolutely fantastic, in my opinion.
Yeah, to you, Karl.
Yeah, we started terrible, and we keep gifting all these things from set pieces, corners, and that, because we do lack height in the team, and it was a disastrous start. And I didn't think we were going to get back into it, but then, even though we seemed like we were having a go, we just didn't look like we had that final ball into us until Hall went off injured, and they got the red card, which I thought was a bit harsh. But then from then on, we pretty much took control, and I think in the end we well deserved the win.
Well, Tyler, I bet you were happy with that result.
Like Dan
said,
I
was happy.
Malley was class.
Obviously, Rotherham are a side that need the points, and I think maybe had they not got that red card, they might have at least got a draw from Middlesbrough. But going down to 10 men against anyone in the league is never easy. Rotherham actually have 2 or 3 games in hand on the teams around them. So for them to lose that was massive for us and for Sheffield Wednesday and Wycombe to keep us all fighting until maybe the last game, which is gonna probably go down to Middlesbrough. They haven't really got too much to play for. I think there's a slight chance they can get playoffs, but realistically, they're not going to get it.
It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen.
So I think, again, another side that's got no pressure against them, and Rotherham going down to 10 men, I think that just allowed Middlesbrough to get back into the game. But massive result for some of the teams down at the bottom of the league.
Right, so we'll go to the next result. Millwall at home, 1, Bournemouth 4. I'll tell you what, Bournemouth are on some run at the moment. They're on some form. Won 7 out of 7, or they've not lost in 7. I mean, they're really looking good towards the business end of the season now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I thought that at one point Bournemouth wouldn't go straight back up after they did lose. They did lose Eddie Howe at the beginning of the season, so I didn't think that they would go straight back up. And then they obviously had a bit of a manager's changing about. Obviously, got Woodgate in, and for me, from then I thought Bournemouth had done it, but they've kept hold of some key players from when they come down from the Premier League, and that's what's been important. And they've still got something to play for with promotion, whereas Millwall, they're 10th, whatever, 11th, and that's where they'll remain for the season. Nothing to play for, and Bournemouth have. But Bournemouth have been incredible these last couple of games. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, you're very right there. But Karl?
Yeah, I mean, they've won 7 in a row, haven't they? And only 1 defeat in 12 now. Apart from the cup game, one at Southampton. So they're absolutely flying on there. I think they've let that run a bit late for the autos, but you wouldn't want to get them in the playoffs, would you?
No, well, that's what I'm worried about a little bit, to be fair. I don't.
This is why it's important for likes of Brentford and Swansea to pick up the form, because at one stage you wouldn't have put a bet on against one of them going up, and now it's looking a bit iffy, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Dan?
Well, for me, Bournemouth, probably the most informed team of late. Flying, absolutely flying. What I want to know is why has Jonathan Woodgate went there, turned this team into a sensational championship team, but nearly got Borough relegated to League One.
Yeah.
Well, for me, that's just because Bournemouth kept quite a few key players coming down from the Premier League. What Woodgate had at Borough was he had to deal with quite a few academy players and stuff, did he not? Whereas at Bournemouth, the class is already there. If he had to play with Bournemouth's academy players, maybe they could be in the exact same position.
Yeah, but I mean, the point I'm making is a lot of Middlesbrough fans blame Jonathan Woodgate, saying, he wasn't good enough, he wasn't this, that, and the other. But in hindsight, seeing the job he's doing at Bournemouth with the players that he's got, there's some great players there, but it doesn't look like it was Jonathan Woodgate's fault. It looks like it was more the fact that he didn't have enough quality in the team.
To get that's them all it's down to.
Yeah. Well, I think at Borough, he had a philosophy, didn't he? And what he came in to do, and we didn't have the squad to do it. And then he chopped and changed, and I think he just lost his way completely, trying to come up with an idea how to make the squad work, and it didn't work for us. But I think their squad is more suited to the philosophy he came in to do here, and obviously they've got Premier League class players amongst it, haven't they? So it's been definitely easier for him. Realistically, he's turned a top championship team back into a top championship team, and so fair play on doing the job, but somebody had to do it. It wasn't the hardest job in the world, I don't think.
See, I'm going to eat my words here before I know we need to quickly move on, but when Jonathan Woodgate got appointed as Bournemouth manager, I couldn't laugh hard enough.
Yeah, I think a lot.
And I'm eating my words now. I think he's doing a fantastic job there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll go to the next, the 5-goal thriller. Stoke 2, Coventry 3. Just wow.
Yeah, I think for me personally, Coventry needed that, and they've confirmed staying in the division with that result. I think they was going to stay up anyway, but I think with that win, they've confirmed their status in this league for next season. Stoke again, another side that haven't really got anything to play for. I think ever since they've come down from the Premier League, they've not been anything special. Season in, season out, when they've kept quite a few important players, and there's still nothing special. Coventry shown more fight and you know, they got the job done. That's all it is.
Yeah. I think, like you said, Coventry probably just had a little bit more to play for. Stoke, I think, had nothing to play for, and I think that helped them because I think the pressure's on them every game because people still look at them as a Premier League team, and they like Tyler said, they haven't really done anything since they've come down. Now they spent quite a lot of money, kept some decent players, and it's not working at the minute, is it?
No.
So I think with the pressure off, they just had a go, but it didn't look like a thriller on paper, but it was probably one of the best games of the day, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big 3 points, wasn't it? For Coventry. Stoke have just been sketchy all season, you know, hence why they're sort of sitting in 13th place. And like Tyler said, since they've come down, they're nothing special. They're beatable by every team in that league on the day. You know, I think, hasn't Jack Butland left now?
Yeah,
probably
he went to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, probably I wouldn't say he was one of the best English keepers, but he's up there. He's a good keeper. So I think he's a big loss for them. So yeah, I mean, it just showed that Coventry needed them 3 points. Obviously, shows in the result.
Right, okay. We'll quickly go to the next game. We'll fly through these because we still got the fixtures to go through for this weekend as well. Wickham 2. Do you know what we'll do? We'll make this fun. Sum these results up into one word. Okay, we'll go from Dan, Tyler to Karl. Right. Wickham 2, Bristol City 1. Dan.
Shock.
Passion.
Karl.
Great result. two words, but yeah.
You should have just said result.
Result, yeah.
Right, next one. Luton Town 0, Reading 0. Dan?
Boring.
Tin pot.
I was going to say the same. Boring. Predictable.
Okay. Huddersfield 0, Barnsley 1.
Expected.
I'd probably say expected as well, to be honest.
Very nice word.
Predictable, yeah.
Right, next one. Birmingham 1, Nottingham Forest 1. And keep it clean, Tyler.
I'll go last this time because I can't think about
relegation.
Well, just a nothing game, wasn't it? Nothing.
One word, Karl.
Nothing. It was nothing. Gone.
Shite.
Fair enough. We do apologise to anybody under the age of 18.
Hey, Carmen.
Your parents, we said sorry and everything.
To be fair, this podcast is filmed after 9 o'clock, so you're allowed to swear.
Yeah.
Go on then.
No, nobody, no. Okay, we'll go to the next one just quickly before we get carried away. Right, 12:30 kickoff tomorrow. As Gandhi and Gandalf and Jesus once said himself, never back the early kickoff. Are we going for
yes, sir.
A Brentford?
Don't get that on your racket.
What's the fixture?
For me, yeah, well, he's obviously speaking about Bournemouth and Brentford. Bournemouth all day long for me now. Absolutely flying. Sorry to say this to you, Dan.
No, that's all right, mate.
But I can't say anything other than a 3-1 win to Bournemouth.
Wow. You're expecting a spanking?
I am, yes.
Tyler?
I'm going.
Bournemouth, Brentford, 1-1.
That's better. I'll go for Karl.
3-0 Bournemouth.
It's
I'm
nice.
going for a 4-1 Brentford win. Get that on your act.
I'm no Brentford fan ever.
I'm trying to do some reverse psychology for it.
With Ivan Toney going missing, I
result.
don't think I can see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
next one. We'll just go for score predictions here. QPR at home. The Scam City QPR against Norwich. Sorry to QPR fans. I'm not sorry.
2-0 Norwich.
Norwich 1-0.
3-1 Norwich.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm going for a 2-0 Norwich win there. We'll go for, Notts Forest versus Stoke City.
That's going to be
2-1
a
Stoke.
ball 1-1 draw.
2-1 Stoke.
0-0.
Okay.
1-1 draw.
Yeah, I can see a 2-2 draw there, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right. Blackburn Rovers at home to Huddersfield.
2-1 Blackburn, hopefully.
Dan?
I think it's going to be a Huddersfield win. I think it's going to be a 2-0.
I reckon 1-1.
Okay, yeah. I can go for a Blackburn win. I can see that happening. Next one. You'll like this one, Ty. Derby County, Birmingham.
1-0 Blues.
What?
You're the Whites.
1-0 Blues, Birmingham.
Rooney out.
You have faith. Do you know what I think? I think Derby will scrape a 1-0 win.
I
I'm
can
honest.
see that.
For another prediction, I'm going to go for a draw again. 2-2.
You like sitting on the fence, don't you, Karl?
It's cold and Swedish.
Yeah.
I know, it's Danish. Somewhere in Europe, innit? Right, next one. Barnsley, Rotherham. I can see a Barnsley 4-0 win here. Actually, no. Actually, Rotherham, they need the points more.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, Barnsley has just been class all season. I think I'm with your first prediction. I think a 3-4, 3-1, somewhere like that for Barnsley win.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be 2-0 Barnsley. They're just awkward and they play. It's not actually that great football, but it's really intense and they're just awkward. I think they'll win.
2-1 Rotherham.
Okay.
Ooh.
Coventry, Preston.
0-0.
That sounds a cracking game.
Yeah.
It's nothing game. 0-0.
Make sure I'm not washing my hair for that one. Especially you, Dan. You want to make sure you're not washing your hair for that one.
I know, yeah. I'm as bald as it can be, but I'll still be washing my hair.
Good man.
For me, I think Coventry will win. 1-0 win.
Do I go for a 1-1 draw or a 2-2? I think I draw.
Every
0-0.
game a draw tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next one.
Get it on your racket, all draws.
Next one. Borough at home to Wednesday. That's Sheffield Wednesday for anybody asking.
I'm praying for Tyler that we beat him 2-1.
I'm going to go for a 2-0 Borough win. I think we've got a bit of momentum there from beating Rotherham. I think we'll get a 2-0 win.
I can see a 1-1 draw.
7-0 Borough. Up the Borough.
Up the Borough.
Oh,
Come
now
on.
you want to be a Borough fan, do you?
Yeah, with your other predictions,
just tomorrow
we'll
I
be the
need
one
the Borough.
keeping you up.
Just tomorrow I need the Borough.
The next one, where I could really do with Millwall doing us a favour here, said no one ever. Watford, Millwall.
Where's
It's a
it at?
Watford win, isn't it?
Is it Vicarage Road?
It's a Watford win all day, isn't it? 2-0.
1-0
3-0.
Watford.
I think Millwall will do it, you know.
1-0 Watford.
I'm with you. I think Millwall might scrape that, you know.
Don't push Millwall over. They're a good side.
Or the maybe's a draw, you know.
Another draw for the
I'll go for a draw, to be honest. I'm going with Karl on this one.
Okay, next one. Cardiff City at home to Wickham.
Cardiff 4, Wickham 0.
Fair enough.
1-0 Wickham.
Oh, you're going for a Wickham. I'm gonna go. I'm doing a Carly here again. 2-2.
I just think they're doing quite well recently, Wickham. They're
Yeah,
having a
they
go.
are.
The fighting
They
out
haven't-
of the fight.
They're
They
fighting.
haven't got nothing to lose, have they? They're just going for it. And I
Okay,
think they've got some well-deserved results.
Next one, probably the game of the weekend. Reading at home to Swansea. I can see Swansea turning their form around here. I can see a Swansea win.
I'm going to say a 3-2 Reading win.
Wow, we were.
3-2 Reading.
It's one of them ones. It could be anything, couldn't it? Could be absolute bar. It could be a classic because both teams have got goals in them and can let goals in on the day. So
Yeah, I mean, both both teams for me have been terrible of late.
yeah, I think it'll be a 3-3 draw.
I'm going for a 33-33 draw. No, for me, I think it'll either swing either way, 2-1, either way. I can't call it.
Okay,
You'll mock me, but when the result comes in tomorrow, you'll be saying, "How did you predict that?"
Mystic Karl.
Next
Go
one.
on then, Dan.
Last one being last but not least, definitely least. Bristol City at home to Luton. Battle of the Bastards. Come on, what we got?
0-0. Just 0-0.
Luton will beat him.
I can
2-1.
see that happening.
It's an absolute classic, isn't it? It's going to be a fantastic game.
I'll make sure I'm in for that one.
Yeah, I would as well. You know.
I don't care if you've got a wedding or a funeral, cancel it and watch that game, you know?
Yeah, you need to. You know, the world will just stop. The world will stop while this is playing at 1 p.m.
Even if you've got some paint to watch dry, you've got that to watch instead.
Yeah.
We're going to get score predictions.
Well, I'm going to say I'm going to give it a Bristol win. I think it's going to be a 1-0.
I've done, man.
10
minutes ago.
Tyler?
I said a 0-0.
Okay, I can see a Luton beating them. Luton.
I think it's just the most boring game of this weekend.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Two of the biggest imports in the league. I hope both go bust straight away after.
That's not very nice, is it?
That's a bold call, that.
It'll keep Derby up, though.
Right, is that it then?
I think we got any news to go through?
And what about Super League?
We've briefly got to go. How long have we got? Jesus, a couple of minutes. Okay, describe it in 2 words, Karl, because you'll probably suit that more.
Absolutely wank.
Fair enough.
Pathetic and disgusting.
Very good.
Greedy,
that wasn't
greedy.
Matthew Webb, though. Greedy, greedy bastards.
Greedy wankers.
Yeah.
Couldn't care.
Yeah, no, I mean, all it was just going to create more money and generate more money for the big top 6 clubs. Where, in my opinion, there should be all that money should be dwindling down to grassroots and the lower league teams.
UEFA are doing that though. UEFA are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
the Premier League do, the UEFA do. It's not right still how imbalanced it is, but the way they were going to do it, basically they were going to pocket all the extra cash and all the rest were going to end up losing out, and so it just gives them all the fucking power, and grassroots probably just goes to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they were obviously taking out the competition element of it as well.
Right,
yeah,
boys,
it is. It's absolutely pathetic.
That's all the time we have for this week. But make sure, share this about. Listen with your friends, your dog. I don't care who you listen to it with. And make sure to give our Facebook groups a follow. Championship Absolute Football Banter and All Leagues Football Banter. Cheers, guys. Take care. It was lovely speaking to you all.
Thanks very
On
much
the
for
Tyler
having me.
Tarft. Ciao for now.
Be seeing
Cheers,
you.
boys.
3-3
Seeing
Reading.
you.
Ciao.
Hope you've had a bloody good week and earned a few
And
quid.
a few quid.